people, but you're using it for good. And I think that's really special. All of you guys for being a part of this project and amplifying this message with your beautiful tunes, bass player, drums, guitar, everything. I am a big fan.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
That's why we do it.
Well, thank you guys. Well, first of all, I also want to talk about a little bit about your upbringing, and we're going to get a little bit to everybody here, but your upbringing started with stealing your brother's guitar when he was leaving the house and playing the riffs and learning a little bit there, and then somehow when you were 12 you traded in his guitar for because it was a huge acoustic guitar and you were 11 years old. You probably barely get your hands around the thing, but then you finally got your own guitar. What kind of guitar was it, and how did that affect your career?
I had to save up my allowance, and I went to the House of Guitars with my brother's guitar, which he no longer played anymore, and I traded it in for a Gretsch acoustic guitar. It was sunburst, it had hummingbirds and flowers on the scratch board. And I got home and I turned on the TV and there was Elvis in one of his Hulu movies with the exact same guitar. And I said, it's an Elvis, oh my God.
My God, so beautiful. I think you conjured that moment. Elvis didn't actually have the guitar until you bought it, and then he shows up. You conjured the moment.
I love it.
You're powerful.
Thank you. I'm telling you, that stuff works.
It's crazy. So, I mean, Dan, but there's another thing. You were out partying. We just talked about that partying and smoking pot at an early age, and you were a wild child, big time.
I was, and I don't try this at home, kids, because it was, I did it out of fear and anger and angst, and it was not the right thing to do. It's just that I didn't have any supervision, so those are some wrong choices that I made.
So, what was it like when your father would come after you and finally find you in wherever you were?
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because I always hung out with older guys and kids. I always hung out with the older kids, and there's your father's here.
Yeah, no, you're serious. You have a soul, and you have one early on, and that usually comes from being, maybe it's a gift.
Affected.
Being affected by situations where your pupils dilate, which means you let more information in.
It's serious. It's very serious because, I was reading Mother Jones magazine when I was 11. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a very politically conscious, socially conscious magazine. And every time I read something, I wanted to cry. It was like one of those. I got to do something about this. And, I didn't learn how to do something about it until I was a bit older.
Well, let's take a little break here. Let's go to Jimmy first of all. With the guitar over here, how did you get involved with this, and how did you get involved with the band? What's the anthology here? How did this all happen? And first of all, how did you get started in music?
In music, I started. I want to go back to middle school, 7th, 8th grade. I was in the first band. I was just a singer. I wasn't playing guitar yet, but I really, my best friend played guitar, and I said, man, I really want to do that.
You're doing harmonies, obviously, as well.
Yeah. So I was singing, and then I eventually got myself a guitar and started playing, and I just knew. I knew that was what I wanted to do, one way or another. It took a couple of years, but I finally got it.
That's all. I just turned your microphone on. Now people can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Say that again. No, just kidding. No. It's all good.
They got it immediately. It's okay. I'll speak telepathic. As far as meeting up with Deb, actually, Deb and I were playing, and I met Deb playing in a side project. Another guy had formed, and he brought me in to play guitar, and Deb was already in singing and playing guitar. And that was how we met, and she had, of course, her own original career going on, and she was looking to form a new band and invited me in.
That's great. Now, what year was that?
It's only a couple of years ago.
It was just 2-3 years ago.
That's awesome. That's great.
It was pretty recent, but I was very glad for that.
It's perfect. Well, things are taking off recently as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, look, you finally made it to this radio show.
Yes.
Must be a highlight, right? Music Matters show.
This
is the apex of your career right here,
Thanks
right?
to you.
All right, Ben, let's talk about the drums a little bit here.
Wow, I started off playing, I was about 10. I started off in school, doing a school band thing. And then about 13, I joined the Towpath Volunteer Fife and Drum Corps out of Palmyra, New York. and it's like a revolutionary fife and drum corps, and that's really where my whole thing started.
Fife and Drum Corps. Tell us what that is.
It's a revolutionary band that marches, and there's fifes, snare drums, bass drums,
Wow.
and a color guard, and it's basically the way music worked during the Revolutionary War.
Incredible. I had no
Yeah.
clue whatsoever.
I was gonna say specify revolutionary.
Revolutionary War, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Not revolution
Different
in
word
general.
these days.
Totally different.
That's incredible.
And very rudimental drumming started off there, and then I started getting into bands, playing with different people around, and I joined the Deborah Magone band, actually, interestingly enough, off from Craigslist. I answered the Craigslist ad and auditioned, and it all went up from there.
That's so beautiful.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
I brought him down and asked him to play Trees by Rush.
I love that. I love Rush.
That's an easy
Oh, that's Neil Peart. That is that's right
Easy
there.
audition, no
Oh my
problem.
God. Well, obviously that was a mentor of yours somehow, or a person you looked up to, or.
Oh yeah, I mean I have a bunch of them, but it was definitely one of them for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, Tim.
Yeah.
Fire away, dude. We want to know all about you, where you come from, how this ties in, because what you're doing is really special, and we really appreciate it. So we want to find out a little bit more about you.
Yeah, well, I started actually playing relatively late, probably towards the end of high school. Started out doing like artwork and drawing and that sort of thing, so I always, knew I had a passion for creative, expression and that sort of thing. And I've been playing for a while. I actually played in a band with Jimmy Whitaker, our guitar player, and that's how I found out about Deborah Magone, and rest is history pretty much.
That's awesome. Very, very
Same
cool.
thing with him, he had to play Trees too, so I had to have Neil Peart and Geddy Lee playability in the band. And they
That's
both
incredible.
cast muster with flying colors.
Thank God you didn't
Incredible.
want me to play.
I want to back up a little bit. We want to make sure that everybody realizes that you're here in town for a reason, not just this incredible radio show called Music Matters and the KX935, but you're actually doing something for the radio station. You're stepping up for the big fundraiser for this community-funded station, which actually is very something special because they actually play artists that are not just corporate-driven. They're opening their playlist up to local acts and just talented people that deserve attention. And it's funded by the community, and you're stepping up. You're coming all the way from New York to put your clout and your energy and your Grammy nominations on the line to help raise money and awareness for this radio station tomorrow evening for a free concert overlooking Mark Christie's new purchase of this golf course we call Little Yosemite, which is the most beautiful thing, with the Salty Sweets, which is one of our most beloved bands here in Southern California, one of the top bluegrass bands around. And they're going to be opening for you, but you're going to be playing tomorrow evening, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Oh my gosh, I feel honored to be invited.
Oh my God. Well,
This is wonderful.
we are happy to have you guys, but just the fact you're stepping up, and of course, this is Music Matters, and we're also talking not just about the most talented original artists in Southern California and beyond, but also the contributions. And this is just one contribution you have, but let's talk about some other things you've stepped up for over the years and causes you believe in. This is something that we want to really let people know about, how music matters and what musicians do, free of charge, traveling across the country, but what other causes are you involved with?
I don't know where to begin, but we've done numerous things for Cure, and the local food banks, things like that.
Battered
Susan, what
women.
other things?
Battered women.
Oh, battered women, I mean, you name it. And children too, the Dream Factory, the terminally ill children, making their wishes come true. When it comes to kids, I'll do most things.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, now on that said, let's we're going to break into something. I want to get into something really special to me afterwards. But the next song up right now is it's called Forever, and I'm sure there's a story about this song. Anybody can chime in on this one?
That's probably most personal to me. I dreamt the hook of this song. It woke me up in the middle of the night, 4 in the morning, and I had to run into the other room to record it because the baby was sleeping, my husband. I had a hard time finishing it. It took me 3 or 4 years to finish it because every time I tried to finish it, I would start crying. It was somehow very personal, and at the same time, I went to a psychic party. Okay, now this does tie
Oh, this gets better and better.
This is how
Love
I
it.
actually got to complete the song, how it built around this. I went to the psychic party. Nobody knew me there. A friend brought me. The woman is reading my palm, and she says, "Oh, you and your husband have been together many lifetimes before." I'm like, "Oh, okay, like, tell me something I don't already know." "No, you don't understand." She says, "He's been following you all these lifetimes, and we finally came together this lifetime.
Wow.
And next lifetime, he's choosing not to come back." Oh, well, that's just like him. So,
One
so
and done.
That's nice of her to let you know that.
Yeah. And then I went home and smacked my husband. No, I'm just kidding. So it's all about reincarnation. It's about losing someone you love that has been with you throughout many lifetimes. Because you've all experienced a relationship where you feel like it's a soulmate, like you've known them from before.
Of course, yeah.
And that's where that comes from. So yeah, it took me a while to finish this one, but when I did, it gets requested at both weddings and funerals. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, those are the most powerful moments, and I think they're both beautiful moments.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, here you go, everybody. This is Forever by Deborah Magone.
Thank you.